This is Daf Yomi Yerushalmi Berachos Daf Lamed, according to the pagination of the Ozvadar / Art School edition. And we started yesterday, got down to Daf Lamed, and we got up to the third line. Dilma, as we mentioned in the past, Dilma is in Yerushalmi refers to a story. Rabbi Chia Barabba v'Chevrusei, Rabbi Chia Barabba and his Chevra. East Army, and some say Rabbi Yossi Berebi, Chalafta Bechebruse, Yossi Chalafta and his Chevra. East Army, and some say Akiva Chebruse, Rabbi Akiva and his Chevra. Rabbi Yasmin Loi Baraisot Chos Chada Teinosa. There was, they were sitting and learning Torah underneath a certain fig tree. Favamara de Teinosa Karitz V'Lucky La B'Chol Yom. He would come and he would cut the harvest the fig tree every day. And they were afraid that maybe the reason he came every day is because he was taught that they were stealing from the tree. I mean, Shemu Choshdenu. Maybe he suspects that we're taking from the tree, and therefore he wants to take whatever pigs off the tree before we steal them. Let's switch our place. The next day, the owner of the tree came to him, and he said to him, Marai, my masters, the one mitzvah which you were doing with me, the manasim meaning are going to curtail from me. They said, perhaps we're afraid maybe that you suspected us, and that's why you came always to cut down the figs, that we shouldn't steal them. But Safra, the next day, Asim son. So the next day, he wanted to explain why he had done it, and he came and he told them that afterwards, I guess in the morning, he did the pretty much says he didn't collect them that day, and he came afterwards and he showed them that Chachama v'Tzliu Tenosel. The sun had risen and I guess had shone on them, heated them up, and they became wormy. So this way he showed them, that's why I have to collect them. Nothing to do with you. Had to do with my they get wormy. So they use this story to learn a mashal. But they said, Amru, but Lakta, about the master of the fig tree knows the time when the proper time to gather the fig, and he gathers it. Kacha Kodesh Baruch Hu, so to Hashem. Yodei Masay Nosin Shal Tzadikim L'Sag Min Olam. He knows what the right time to take tzadikim in the world. For whom is Salkon, and he removes them. Kadamach Rabbi Bun Bar Bechia. Our Rabbi Zir Iftar Lavi. When Rabbi Bun Bar Bechia died, Rabbi Zir came to be maspidim. He said Mesuka Shnasa Oveid. It says. Sweet is the sleep of the worker. Yoshen Eng Sivkan. It says doesn't say Yoshen. Actually, the Pnei Moshe makes it much very clear. So it's just the Pnei Moshe. Yoshen Sivkan. The feet pashte the according to the simple meaning of the pasuk. The kal Shena Shovei. Again, Malacha. It's the pasuk going on the sleep of the person who's doing the malacha. So it's saying and it's saying that how much he sleeps, whether little or not, little or a lot, it's sweet to him. You can't say okay, if he sleeps a little or a lot, my yochal. So how does eating get into this? It says at the end pasuk, lama. How does that get into it? It's a non sequitur, right? So it doesn't follow. Pira Dorish, Pnei Moshe goes on, Leon Yonah Shona Belomed, the Yoga Mishnah also sees a story about somebody learning and chazering and is toiling in his Mishnah diligently. Maltam Rabbi Yochal, who if he eats a little or a lot, who bischaro kamo elu sheigim b'chol yom. Since what he did with absolute Mesiras Nefesh and Nemanos, so therefore he gets the full schar as if he worked the entire day. Even many days. If he uses these amsus based on his diligence and his efforts, who mishtalem Kamosha Messiah, But he perfects himself. Moshe Sai Moshe maybe as a conclusion the Moshe we're about to bring down. And let's see the Moshe. So again, Mesuka Shnas Oved Yoshen Eng Ksiv Katzen say Mesuka Imati Marbe Yoshen, but rather Ela Imati Marbe Yochal. Right, if he eats a lot. Lama, why does it say that? Rabbi gave an analogy. Melech parable. Melech Shesachar Poli Marbe is a king who hired many workers. But Yosham Por Echad, Por Echad. Sorry, there was one worker there. Miskasher b'mlachto Yosamidai. He was really, really fantastic in his malacha. His kosher in his malacha. Ma'aseh what the king do with him? Nothing but Rukos Uksoros. He took him off his job and was and walked with him. So strolled with him, short and long, various different pathways. In the evening, Bo Osam Paulim Litos Choran. That evening, the Pauline came to get their rewards. Naslo Scharo Imayim Mishalem. And he gave the worker with whom he had spent so much time in the day his full wages, as if he worked the entire day. For the Pauline Misramim, and the workers got angry from him and said, Ani Agana Kolayom, we toil all day. But he only worked for 2 hours. Naslo Scharo Imayim Mishalem. You're paying us the full wages, as if he worked as much as us. Amar Melech, the king said, "Zay Yogas El Shtei Shalos Yotzim Mashlo Yigatem Atem Kol Hayom Kulo." This worker worked in 2 hours when you didn't work the entire day. In other words, he managed to do in the short time amount of work equivalent to what you worked the entire day. Kach Yoga Rabbi Bun B'Torah L'Sim Shmona Shana Mashe Ein Tamid Vasik Yachol Lamid L'Mei Shana. So to Rabbi Bun, even though he was only alive for 28 years. He toiled in Torah and accomplished more than most people accomplish in 100 years. So therefore, the fact that he left early, so to speak, doesn't mean that he's going to get any less schar, because the schar is given, from Tzara Agra, based on what you accomplished in your time here, not on what you accomplished relative to somebody else. In fact, you're in 28 years can accomplish much more than somebody else in 100 years. It's interesting. Shari Torah is an interesting Hara here. It says, wait a minute, Stami wasn't Yogea for 28 years from the day he was born. So it brings out actually from some source that Ibn Taka lived till 38. And he died at 38 years old. And he started learning Mishnah when he was 10 years old, like Ben Esel Mishnah. So the Yigiyah B'Torah is talking about from the time he was 10, the time he was 38, which is 28 years, which is very nice. Okay. Kadamach Rabbi Simon Bar Zvid, all Rabbi Lei Viftar Levi. When Rabbi Simon Bar Zvid died, Rabbi Lei came in and said the following, has spade on him. Arba Dvarim Tashmi Shosha Olam. There are 4 things which the world makes use of. Kulim of the Ishlam Khalifin. On each one of them, if they're lost, if we lose them, there is a replacement for them. Ikiesh Kesem Motzah Umakom Zahav Umakom Zahav Yuzaku. The silver has a gold source, and you can replace it. There's a place in which you can find the gold. Barzel me'over yukach, you can take metal from dirt. The even yotzuk nechusha, and from a stone you will get copper. So all these metals, these are lost. Yeshon chalifin, there is something to replace them. But some tachom dies. Mi ve'vilon chalifaso, who will bring us his exchange? Mi ve'vilon taraso, who will bring us someone instead of him? About chachma, if you lose chachma, me'aiti matzit, from whence can you bring it? Ve'ezamakom bina, and where is the place from which understanding can be replaced? But now it's hidden from all living beings. In other words, there is no replacement for this time of chacham who passed away. Rabbi Levi, I don't think this is the same as Rabbi Leah from the previous statement. But it is he's still being saying Hesmer of Simon Bar Zvid. It says, the brothers of Yosef, when they found something, their heart left them. We lost Simon Bar Zvid. How much more so should we our heart go out in that we this as a result of this great tragedy? Which is a little bit strange, what the comparison is. Um, the unfortunately don't seem to say very much here. Um, the uh, there's various different interpretations here, which are given. Um, the Maraponim says that it's that even if you assume that the previous that Rebbe was saying, even if you assume Rabbi Leah said is not correct, that there is a Tzmur Tam Chal Shemes, because Baruch Hu brings down a tzaddik, which is similar to the tzaddik who passed away. There's still anguish when he loses a chacham, and that we learn from the brothers of Yosef. Even though they found a Matzia and had a advantage as a result, they lost. They were upset because of the loss that might come as a result. So it sounds like the chisaron always hurts, even if there's an exchange. So here too, even though there's an exchange, which is there's exchange, which is the Chatam B'Chagam was born as a result. Nevertheless, was tsar in what we lost. The Mashbiach wants to say, and I'm not sure I fully understand what he's saying here, to be honest with you, but he says that by the brothers Yosef had strong evidence that they found a Metzia, and that it was, and especially since they just found it, right? And not just found it. I'm sorry. The strong evidence that they found Metzia, and the raya is that they brought it back with them, right? And so if they were stolen, they would never brought it back with them when they went back. And you can't say that they had to bring it back because of the famine that compelled them to bring it back, even though they had stolen originally, because they left Shimon Zamashkin, and that's another right. Since they know Shimon's going to stay there forever, how could they possibly have stolen it? Nevertheless, because of the suffix which could come about, so their hearts went out. Whereas we who lost Rabbi Simon, and certainly it came about as because of oncoming evil, raw. So achas kama b'kama. I don't think that adds anything. I'm not sure that I even understand it. But one thing I did get from this is that Rabbi Simon is the same name as Shimon. So it could be there's something here that the parallel between Shimon being in trouble over there and the loss of Shimon over here. It was there could be the shot is that even though they found they knew they had found a Metzia and that they were going to give it back. They were still afraid for Shimon, their brother, even though he's in relative safety. Here that we lost Rabbi Simon, and we know that we lost him. Halachas kama kama vayofag libam, our heart should go out as well. Maybe something along those lines. Okay, continuing on. Kadama Rabbi Levi Sisi. When Rabbi Sisi died, avoid the Shmuel, the father Shmuel came in, Viftar Lavi and said Esmit. So to our college the final analysis when everything is started, as Lakim Yerava, you should fear HaKadosh Baruch Hu, second's last pasuk, in Koheles. Kadama I say Lamaya ben Leiman Sisa. What does the Leiman Sisa like? The Melchel Karam. It's like a king who had a vineyard. Funny man had 100 vines. Each year they made 100 barrels of wine. Amar Chamishim. So then he had only 50 vines. He made 100 barrels of wine. Amar Aboy. The 40. I still got 40 barrels of 100 barrels of wine. Amar Shloshim went down 30. Still got 100 barrels of wine. Amar Esrim went down to 20. Still got 100 barrels of wine. Amar Eser. Still got 100 barrels of wine. Amar Echod went down to one vine. And it was still made 100 barrels of wine. Also given Chavi Love, he called a Karen. That vine was obviously as chashav him as the entire vine, 100 vines he had originally. Kolchem Kulo. Kachi Rabbi Levi Basisi Chovin Yakosh Baruch Hu. Kichol Adam. He was precious to Kosh Baruch Hu in correlation to all people. In other words, to a large amount of people, I guess, who he was producing Torah equivalent to them. This says, Kizek Kol Ha'adam, right? So do I call him as so do I call Nishma, so Kim Rasim Zos Shmar, Kizek Kol Ha'adam. Don't read it. Kizek Kol Ha'adam. So a person evidently who has Yerushalmi and does mitzvahs properly, he's shakul, corresponds to many, many people. Right? He has like what it says by 36 people were killed by Ai. That was really Mocher ben Menashe was killed. He was shakul because like 36 people. So to Levi Bar Sisi was so precious to us because he was shakul. He himself was worth a tremendous amount of Tamei Chachamim, who he corresponded in significance to. Kahana Ulam Sagin Katsolik Lahacha. So Rabbi Kahana was very young when he came over here from Bavel. He came early. He had to run away, we know, from Bavel to Eretz Yisrael because he was suspected of murder. So he came very young. Chamse Gabar Pachin. So some low person, Pachin, the Chareim says Loshen of Pachos, right? The low person saw him. Chamse Chabar Pachin, a low person saw him. Amar said, Makala B'Shmaya. What's going on in Shamayim? Which is a very strange thing to ask. So, unfortunately, we know the story from the Bavli that Rabbi Kana, when he came, he was not allowed to ask questions. And Rabbi Yochanan's yeshiva, and then he was put down row after row after row. And his Rebbe had told him, I think it was Rab, that when the Eretz Yisrael, he had to wait 7 years before asking questions, but he was put 7 rows back. So he said, okay, now he can ask questions because 7-year rows is like 7 years. And he asked questions, and he had a cleft palate or something like that. And Rabbi Yochanan, when he looked at him, he thought he was grinning at him, and he had him, he passed away because Rabbi Yochanan's looking askance. And then Rabbi Yochanan brought him back to life when he was explaining to him it was because of his cleft palate, whatever it was that caused him to look like he was grinning. So he wasn't Shammai. So what did you hear when you were there? Amar, so he said, I'll tell you, Gzardin Ehu Gavra Mechtam. I heard that your Gzardin was being sealed. Kad Havaslei Avamis. And it happened, the person died. Pogabei Chamsei Charon. So then he met up with another person. It was like the first person, right? Another one, Charon. I'm like Shmaya. So what do you hear in Shema? What do you hear in heaven? I'm like Gzardini. The Ugavra Michtam. Saying they heard about you. But obviously that happened to the same guy as well. So Omar Rav Khan said, "Maslik is mizake. Why I come up here to merit, to do good things, right? And I am sinning. Maslik is the mitle b'nei of Israel. Did I come up to kill people in Eretz Yisrael? In other words, I didn't want to be responsible for their deaths." Now, if we're going to the opinion that actually went to Shemaim and heard of Zardin, it's a little bit difficult to say that he's responsible for death. But the point is that he felt bad that he was somehow involved in this, regardless of how it came about. So the ask Rabbi Yochanan. I'm sorry, Nezal Menechos they mean Hendeslikas. I should go back down from here to Bavel from my coming up here. Ask Rabbi Yochanan. So he came to Rabbi Yochanan to either take leave or to ask an Eitzah. Amar le Barnashti me mevasrle. A person whose mother is his biological mother is degrading him. Either say that and his father's wife, his stepmother, is Mukale is giving him praise. Lane Yazale, where she go? So he's saying the marshal was Eretz Yisrael, which is my homeland, but is degrading me. In other words, it's not working out here. Bavel, things are working out great. So what should I do? Should I stay here or go back? So Rabbi Yehuda said, Yezel the Mukalish, go back to the place. He's going to the place where they're giving him honor. Nachas le Kahana. So he named the Solok. He went back. He left Eretz Yisrael. He went back to Chutzos. Also, Rabbi Yehuda again to Rabbi Yehuda. They said, Nachas Kana Bado. Kana went down to made Yerida. Amra Ma'ava Mesa level in Lasing Mashusa. He said, how could this possibly be? How can he leave and not get Rishus to leave? Amalei Hayom Milsa Damalach. He Havan Atil Rishus today. And he gave to the mushal and he responded in kind, so that was his Natilas Rishus. That was how he was taking leave and asking permission to go. As in the article is Chilvik Yerushalmi Berachos, where he wants to say that that took place before the story in the Bible. This is a separate story, not worth getting into right now. Says the Gemara further. Rabbi Zir Katzal Klacho, Rabbi Zir, when he came up to us, to Eretz Yisrael, Azal Aki's dam, he went and he had bloodlet. So after you have bloodlet, you're supposed to eat meat. So he wanted to go and buy a measure of meat from the butcher. I said, how much does this measure cost? It took cost 50 mana, which is 50 coins, and one punch. So Amalei said, take 60. And don't punch me. Low kibula, he wouldn't accept it. Sav Shivin takes 70. Low kibula, wouldn't accept it. Sav Shmonin takes 80. Sav Tishin Adamata Mev Lo Kibula. So the butchers did not accept it. So what could he do? No choice. Very zero. Do what's your minhag amakom is. That here's the money and you can punch me. Brum shanach is the base bath. In the evening he went down to the base medrash. Amala the Rabbi said, Amala he said to the rabbis there, Ma bishmin hagadacha, what how terrible is minhag here? The person can't eat a measure of meat until he can punch him out. Amarle Umaudain. So they asked him, it's not the minute who did this to you? Amar Palatapcha, that butcher. Shochan boy Mesa say. So they wanted to go and to inquire with this butcher what he was doing. But Ashkechun Aroni Nafak. They found that his Aron was going to be buried. In other words, he had died on account of his being Mavaza Rabbi Zira. Amarle Rabbi I forgot how to read this. Let's see the Farshim say here. I think it was on the Pusha. Rabbi Koachain. They said to Rabbi Zira, "Did you? Was it necessary to kill him? Okay, he was a bad guy, but it's necessary to cause his death." So Amalei, so Rabbi Zira said, he said, the Lashon Shvur, may it come upon me, bad things. Low cost, you see, loving. We sparked the minhag again. I never did get angry. I thought, so I didn't get angry. HaKadosh Baruch Hu took him away as a punishment, but it's not my fault. I didn't actually have in mind they should die as a result. The statement from the Ben Yoda tries to give a shot why Rabbi Zira might have passed. He thought it was something like a makam, but it's too elaborate for us to get into at the moment. Rabbi Yaska Saiklach, I asked him when he came here to Eretz Yisrael. Azal Safar. He went and he went to take a haircut, and the Chareim says nicely that that's in Megalchim B'Moyes people come from derech, and here too. Here obviously the minute was haircut. One came from a long trip. Boyna Miske behind the Musa at the Chavet Tveria. So he wanted to then go down to the bathhouse in the Tveria bathhouse. Pagabei Chad Leighton, so a certain clown met up with him, a scoffer, and he hit him. See, Pukto seems to be a language of hitting him on the neck. But he hit him. Amalei said, Arkadon unkate dao gavra rafia. So Moshe says, that he said to him, your neck and your necklace are loose, and we have to strengthen it. And it was like a joke. I'm hitting your neck because we have to make you stronger. So when he got to the bathhouse, there was an Arkuna, which is an official who was judging, evidently, like it was a criminal court, and he was involved in judging people who did things wrong. And Doin Echalistim, and he was judging a certain bandit. V'ozel kamle gachich kol kible, and this clown was standing there, and he was standing there silently, says Bnei Moshe. And when the Dayan said to the bandit, who was with you, who was your accomplice in doing whatever you did? So he looked at the clown, and he saw the clown was laughing. This clown was still laughing because of the trick he played on Rabbi Yasa. And he said, you know what, this guy who's standing there silently, he was with me. So as it says, so again, the clown was standing and laughing, either laughing at the bandit or laughing because of what he just did to Rabbi Yasa. And Akuna said, who was with you? He saw this clown standing there laughing. That guy was laughing. He was with me. So they could judge him. He confessed that he actually killed somebody. Minafkin Tarvayim, when they were both going out to be killed themselves, Ta'inan Tartin Shirin, and they were going out with chains, holding out them. That's going out chained to be killed. Check that's correct. No. Bnei Moshe says they were carrying two beams. I guess they're going to be crucified on them. Like that's a minute they crucified people that they punished. So Mandava Rabbi Yasa Masche, he passed the late passed by Rabbi Yasa who was swimming. I got to the pool and was swimming. They said, "Unkitala tava rafia kvar shanatz." He said the weakness of your neck has obviously been strengthened. It's some sort of a bitter statement. Haredim explains it. He's saying that the weakness of your neck has come back to haunt me, and now I have this beam I'm holding up on my neck, something like that. So the Rabbi Yas said to him, "Bish, only bish gadadu gavra." Woe is the luck. Your luck is bad of this person, but you should have learned. For lo ksiv does not say, "But all tislo tzu do not make skaf." But pan yichzgu musreichem, lest your sufferings become strong. In other words, The musrechem also means the yoke or burden, of the neck. So you're saying that these, whatever they were, chains or beams, that is what you did. That's the comeuppance of your scoffing and your mocking. Okay, we've got well into Lamed Aleph. We'll stop here.